Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. On this video, I would like to make a video about the difference between an automatic toaster and a standard toaster. Now, for those who are not familiar with standard toasters, like the ones that don't automatically pop up, well, these ones, such as this one, like this is a toaster that actually opens up on the sides. And this is how they used to make the bread, the toast, that is. You place a piece of bread, close it up, and then you let it heat up, but it doesn't automatically stop. You actually have to open it up to actually see how the bread's coming along, because this does not stop automatically like an automatic toaster does, such as this one. And with this, you have to always watch the toast in this kind of toaster. Well, in fact, you should always watch every toaster you have, whether it's automatic or non-automatic, because any toaster that you use can still be a fire hazard, even if it automatically automatically pops up, And, because toasters, can malfunction just like any device can. Sometimes, maybe like in automatic toasters like this, maybe the automatic switch could be stuck or something, and you may have to loosen it up. Like try to actually press it back up in order to make the bread come out if it doesn't automatically pop up after a while. If it does that, then the bread will start to smoke and it turns all black and it's burned up. And worst of all, it can cause a fire. And same thing with this toaster right here. Now, but even with this toaster right here, this toaster can still cook the bread as well as an automatic toaster does, though. Well, except for one thing. You have to flip the bread over in order to cook the other side. And that goes to when you use another slice on the other side of this type of toaster. And not just that, with this toaster, the moment you plug it in, the moment it starts, heating up. So that means it has no on and off switch. So that means you have to be prepared on actually making the toast without actually, letting it burn. So for the automatic toaster, for example, with something like this, the toaster will not turn on unless if you press this down, which, locks the metal cage or whatever it is that holds the bread right in place, and then it starts to turn on the heat in order to cook the bread. And then when it gets to the right temperature, depending on how you set the temperature adjustment on your toaster, which is automatic, that is, then it should automatically pop up like that without even being stuck. But no matter how well your toaster is, whether it's new, vintage, automatic, or even standard, you never ever leave your toaster unattended, because they can be big fire hazards, and you can even ruin your toaster too if that happens. Another thing too is that toasters, both whether they're vintage or new, even with cloth cords or rubber cords, like I made in the past videos about the difference between a cloth cord and rubber cord, you should never ever mess with these cords. And another thing you also gotta keep in mind that I forgot to mention is that keep the cord away from the heat of the toaster, because you can melt the cord. And it's very dangerous to do that. Whether it's rubber or cloth, any cord can melt from, the heat of a toaster. But even toasters are not just fire hazards because of the heat that they produce when they're turned on, but also they can be fire hazards because of a damaged cord as well, too. Just like any appliance can have, can be a fire hazard if it's got a damaged cord. Well, but I don't mean to change the subject about that, but, but the point about this video is that, no matter what type of toaster you own, whether it's standard like that one or automatic as this one, you never ever leave them unattended, and you always have to, know, like, the proper way to actually, know how to use these toasters, especially because they're heating devices and all that stuff. And another thing is, like, but just because, like, this one, you may have to flip the bread over with your hand, doesn't mean this toaster is bad or anything, because it's actually, unique to actually have, because, they don't make them like this anymore, or at least I don't think so. And, these toasters are really good to actually have and, look at and all that. But still, but just like any electrical device, you don't mess with it because they're not toys. Oh, and another thing I also forgot to mention about what these toasters have in common is that they both can electrocute you if you actually stick like a fork or a knife inside the toaster to like try to get the bread out. Because I know some people that I've heard have actually, put a fork or a knife inside the toasters. And that's a big no-no, because inside the toaster, the part that heats up, where you see that red light, on the walls of the toaster, those are actually heated up wires that are doing that. And when that happens, those wires can still be magnetized. So that means, like, you can still, like, get electrocuted just from touching them. Like, if it's just your hand, you would mostly just burn yourself. But if you use something metal, such as a fork or a knife, like maybe to get the bread out if it's stuck, never do that when the toaster is plugged in, because there's electricity running through it, and anything that's metal, can conduct electricity. So never ever stick your fingers in the toaster, whether it's standard or automatic, and never put anything metal in it either, in order to, clear out the stuck bread or waffles or whatever you're toasting inside of it. Make sure you always unplug your toaster before you do anything with it, like cleaning it, inspecting it and all stuff. And that's, how it goes, because, toasters can be pretty dangerous if you misuse them, especially when they're plugged in. So always be aware that no matter what type of toaster you own, and no matter how it's designed, just, always do things the right way by don't messing around with the cords, especially because they can get damaged if you, like pull on them and all that, instead of pulling on the plug to unplug it from the outlet. And also, like I said, never put anything metal in it or you'll get shocked. And don't leave them unattended, ever. Not even if you're in another room that is next to your kitchen. Never do that, and always keep them on a countertop. Never on a table or any other surface, because the countertop is the material that doesn't catch on fire, especially when the toaster gets hot. So always keep that in mind. And I hope this video was very helpful. If you have any questions about toasters or anything, and would like to know more about toasters and all sorts of other things, please feel free to comment on my channel, my YouTube channel. And don't forget to like and subscribe, please. And be sure to have respectful comments, please. Thank you. Bye.